Israil Madrimov won his first world title by building off the success of his body jab. He was happy to land it to the chest or arms if it meant he could pin Kurbanov against the ropes. Kurbanov tried to circle away, but Madrimov used the body jab to cut him off. Kurbanov tried to keep his lead hand low to block it, but Madrimov sent the jab through the small openings in his guard. He paired it with jabs to the head to keep Kurbanov guessing. Kurbanov started keeping the lead arm closer to his body in a Philly shell. He tried to bring his right arm down to close the gap, but Madrimov's accuracy still let him sneak it through. The more success Madrimov had with it, the more he could use it to set other punches up. He drops down like he's throwing the jab to the body, but then he leaps up with a left hook instead. Often after using the body jab feint, he would throw it for real so that Kurbanov would keep respecting it. Again, Madrimov drops down to jab the body. Then he subtly drops his head down, making Kurbanov expect another, but instead he throws a right hand upstairs. Another body jab lands hard, which convinces Kurbanov to go back to the Philly shell. So the next body jab that Madrimov throws, he lets stick to Kurbanov, letting him maintain the distance so that he can replace his jab with a harder rear straight. Then he gets back on landing the body jab, reminding Kurbanov to keep expecting it after the dip. Kurbanov has an idea to counter the body jab. When Madrimov dips down, he's going to meet him with an uppercut. It was a fine idea, but this is why it was important for Madrimov to not become predictable. Instead of fully changing levels for the body jab, Madrimov throws a right hand upstairs. Kurbanov's uppercut sails harmlessly between them. As Kurbanov kept using the Philly shell to defend the body jabs, Madrimov kept finding ways around it, like the leaping left hook. Kurbanov started sticking his jab out, hoping to run Madrimov into it when he dipped down, but it was hard for him to predict exactly where Madrimov's head would be because it was a moving target. Here he slipped outside Kurbanov's jab as he changed levels. Even when Kurbanov placed the counter jab properly, he didn't throw it with enough force to stop what Madrimov was doing. As the rounds went on, Madrimov's body jab and constant mix-ups were forcing Kurbanov into a defensive shell. He was too reactionary, giving Madrimov all the initiative. However, the Philly shell was still making it hard for Madrimov to land cleanly. After Madrimov drops down, Kurbanov guards against the body jab. It's the right that comes instead, but Kurbanov shoulder rolls it. Here, after feinting the body jab, Madrimov throws the right to the body, but Kurbanov's side-on stance makes the body harder to hit with straight punches. Madrimov follows up with the left hook, but Kurbanov blocks it. Undeterred, Madrimov kept using his feints and changed up the timing on his right, making it more difficult to use the shoulder roll. Because Kurbanov was stuck reacting, Madrimov was free to keep mixing things up. Even just continuing to hit the guard was contributing to shutting down Kurbanov's offense. Kurbanov probably felt good about his defense, but he wasn't countering. The body jabs were still landing, though. And whenever Kurbanov did throw, Madrimov would exploit the openings. More and more, Kurbanov only felt comfortable throwing half-hearted feeler jabs. But even the jabs didn't keep him safe because Madrimov didn't have to respect them. It was easy for Madrimov to slip the jabs and continue his assault on the body. Having tired Kurbanov out with body shots, Madrimov picked up his offense even more in round 5. But he never stopped using the threat of the body jab to set up his other weapons. Kurbanov was getting pushed back to the ropes and pinned there by the body jab. The irony is that the more Kurbanov was overly focused on defense, the more Madrimov was setting him up for bigger shots. Kurbanov tries to jab his way out of the corner, but Madrimov slips it and jabs to the body. A second jab gets him to back up, and Kurbanov tries to move forward to claim the space, but Madrimov's jab to the chest stops him. Shortly after, a right comes over top of the shoulder. As Madrimov changes levels to jab the body, Kurbanov goes into the Philly shell. Rather than trying to jab through the guard, he uses his jab just to post on Kurbanov's chest. This prevents Kurbanov from moving into clinch and pins him against the ropes. This gives Madrimov the space to arc an overhand right that travels over top of the lead shoulder of the Philly shell.